In order to work with Keynote Manager in the cloud, you'll have to create at least one cloud project. Cloud projects in Keynote Manager are based on master databases. When you first start, you'll see a screen like this where you have no masters and no projects defined. In order to get started, you'll need to define at least one master database, and there's two ways to do that. The first is this button up here to create a master from an existing text file. This is going to be recommended in most cases where you already have an existing master Keynote text file for your office. You can simply upload it directly to the Keynote Manager cloud and use that as a master database in the cloud. The second method is to create a new blank master database. This is only recommended if you use a system where each keynote is independent per project anyway, and you have a smaller list of keynotes that are project specific that you use. I'm going to go ahead and create from my sample office master here. I'm going to select that and create a name for it. Maybe this is your educational template, maybe it's just a standard Office Master. I'm just going to call it that. Once I do that, you'll see that Office Master shows up here under my masters. I've got two options. I can delete it, or I can create a new project from this master. In order to create a project based off of this master, I simply click this button here, write a name for the project, and you'll see that it shows up down here in the project. So I've got my name, the master that it's based off of, and the number of collaborators. Now, collaborators are people outside of your company that you invite to work on this. Maybe this is, if you're an architect, maybe these are your engineers, or vice versa. If you're an engineer, maybe it's your architect. You can invite other people to collaborate on this with you. In order to do so, simply click on the project. Right now it shows me I have no current collaborators, but I can click the same little plus button over here and get my invitation dialog. From this dialog, I can invite an individual user or I can invite a company. Most likely you're going to want to invite a company. This is going to be when you invite your engineer or your owner's representative. When you invite a company, you will send to a specific person's email, but anyone that is in the same company as that person will be able to access it. If I invite an individual user, only someone logged in with that user's actual user ID and password will be able to edit it. So I can invite users on an individual basis, or I can invite the company as a whole. I can then set the permission level that I would like to give the collaborator that I'm inviting. I can allow them to modify the notes so that from this project they can modify and write and change capitalization, do whatever they need to. Or I can give them read-only access so they can see it and use it inside of Revit, but they can't actually change anything. Or again, I can temporarily disable this account. Once I filled in the information I want, I'm going to hit Invite User. And it's now added that person as a pending collaborator. You'll see the status over here. What it's done is sent them an invitation to the email that's on their account. They will then get that email, and there's an acceptance link in there. Once they accept, you will see their status as accepted, as active here. We'll show you their name, and we'll give you also a permissions dropdown. So you can change their permission level at any time or delete them entirely as a collaborator at any time. Once the collaborator has accepted their invitation, they'll be able to see this project under your company name in their console when they go to open Cloud Keynote Project. And that's how you work with cloud projects inside of Keynote Manager.